Lord, you guys ready? So I had this topic a couple months ago, and I told Steve that I wanted to speak, and today has been one of those days where it's just like, oh, no, I have to put this into practice, because of the simple fact is like, some days are just hard. Some days you can give everything to and do everything right for somebody, and they still choose to go the opposite way. And today was one of those days, and those days my heart just breaks. I had to sit back in my office, and I actually was just like, Lord, what else? What more can we do? What more can we do? And he said, this time it was absolutely nothing. And so sometimes you just gotta, I guess, accept the good and the bad at the same time. Been challenged lately to do a lot of changing, a lot of searching in my heart to just really become a different person. In late September this last year, I had, an incident happen that completely changed my life, changed my whole outlook on what I want to do and what I want to represent and how I want to represent Jesus in my life. And I came up with this scale in my head, which is, it's like a nightmare, because it's like, it doesn't matter. It plays over and over in my brain. And it kind of sounds like, okay, so I'm sitting there and I'm like, maybe I'm getting just unnerved by somebody, or like they're being offensive or something like that. And the Lord just really just began to just say, okay, think of this as if that person was to go away tomorrow and die, would you have done absolutely everything that you needed to do in order for that person to become successful? Or would you be okay and not have any regrets when you're sitting at their funeral, or when you go home at night? Would you be thinking about that person because you've done everything that you needed to do and do it correctly? And it really just became like a monologue of my life now, that all of these extra things that we're constantly stressing on, or the lead singer's mic? Where that at? Oh, wait. What happened? That was a miracle. Look at the Lord. He loves me. He didn't leave me. He didn't leave me. Where was I? People are dying, and no. Just really became a monologue of my life, that it's like when I'm dealing with people and the offenses that come up, I'm just really in my mind just over and over thinking, when this person leaves me, I just want them to walk away and be like, and feel loved. And it's really hard to do that without forgiveness. Forgiveness is literally wrapped up in every single thing. It's past, it's present, it's future, it's good, it's bad, it's selfish, it's selfless. There's just so many things that it is, and it's so important. I want to tell you a story, and I'm hoping that you guys don't judge me, because it's really hard. And this is a thing that really changed my life. It's like, okay, so when I was a kid, I basically had a kid. And his name is Rob, and he's super dope. Super dope. He's beautiful. He changed me. He was the one person in my life that told me, if you continue to go down this way, if you continue to do these drugs, you're choosing them over me. He was 14 years old. 14 years old, way beyond his years. He is just super dope to me. I love him so much. Unfortunately, Rob was born into a situation where obviously I wasn't ready. I wasn't a good mother at all. He was born into a situation that wasn't fair. I was nowhere near ready to be a mom. I was on a mission trying to figure out what this whole life thing was about. There was something always missing in my life. And I didn't know what it was, obviously, until I found Jesus. But that sent me on a journey to doing drugs, having babies, being with men, trying to figure this thing out that was missing. And unfortunately, he became collateral damage. I knew his dad since I was in second grade. He was actually the first man that I loved. We had a whole human being together. Found out that he was, and I'm in high school, found out that he had a whole nother baby on the way. And back then, I wasn't very reserved. Definitely wasn't a nice person at all. Wasn't very appreciative of that news. And yeah, ghetto is not the words. I think Katie even told me that she saw me one time beating him up on the porch. And therefore pushing him away. My son was basically raised by his grandmother most of his life. I was in and out, didn't deserve it. He's super dope. He became who he is both because of me and in spite of me. And there's something very special about a person that can do that, So me and his dad went separate ways. And in his dad's world, they said that it was wrong for him to love somebody who was black, and then for me it would be the vice versa, in counterattack with that. And unfortunately, my son is left in the middle, undeserving of everything. For like years down the road, obviously, I got my life back together, and this is who I am, This is what I do. I put people's lives back together. I restore relationships with parents and children. It's actually something that I really, really love to do. I give people hope. I do a really good job at that. But I forgot about the people that were right in front of me. So Rob's dad is in and out of prison most of his life, and this last time he had his last go around, and he was done with that life. And mind you have to understand that, like, when I say that I pushed him away, I absolutely pushed him away. But that was a little bit of information that I didn't share with Rob, because for the first time it was like there was somebody else that was worse than me in this situation, because I took a lot of heat for them kids, and I deserve to have a lot of heat taken for them kids. Trust and believe that. But I missed, that little bit of information that could have probably just swayed the situation. And Rob's dad gets out of jail, and he goes and Robert works with his sister, because he has a bunch of them. And his dad comes in there in his best way, kind of tries to introduce the subject of talking. And Rob is mad and angry by this time, of course, and kind of snubs it off. And he asked me for a ride home because it was raining. He jumps in the car, and he's like, my dad came in here. And and he said something to me, and I was like, the Holy Spirit spoke to me. He was like, you need to fix this. You could fix this, And me, not ready, not wanting to actually take the accountability of saying, there was more to the situation, and kind of just letting him feel that way, because it was easier for me let the whole thing slide. And I went and dropped him off, and I just had this nagging feeling like you should have done more. It felt weird leaving, but I went on with that. We went on with life, and whatevers and whatnots happen, and comes maybe 3, maybe 4 weeks down the road, and I'll never forget it. There's days in my life where it's like you just don't forget those days, Everything's just a little bit different. And I woke up in the morning, and there's missed calls, and there's a text from Rob, and he's My dad's dead. My dad's dead. And all of a sudden, I was just like, what did you do? What did you not do? See, when we get into these situations, we get so hung up off being angry and being right and being bound by just all of the things that hold us and keep us stuck that we can't see to do the right thing. That forgiveness is supposed to come with transformation. And after you transform, you're supposed to step into who you're created to be, and people need you to be who you're created to be. They don't need you to be mad. They don't need you to be angry. They don't need you to be strong or tough for thinking that your way is the right way, because your way, if it's that way, is the wrong way. My dad's dead. All of a sudden, I couldn't even remember. What were we tripping on? Because everything became real solid. We have a really bad habit of trying to put things off into the future because, there'll be more time. There's not always going to be more time. If the Holy Spirit tells you something, you listen and you do it. Because if not, you will learn your lessons the hard way. He's never not been faithful. And I know this. But here I am, being selfish. When am I going to get it right with these kids? At what point will it be enough and they will be enough and everything will change and I will do it right and I will know that I can do this? My Christianity comes with a responsibility. Your Christianity comes with a responsibility, and it is to do what Jesus says to do. Not do what you think. Not do what your parents think. If there's somebody that you're following and they're doing it right, do it that way. Stop being caught up on all the situations. And trust me, I know how hard it is to walk out self-forgiveness. I think about it every single day. And if I don't have this forgiveness, I would rather be dead than to feel what I have to feel, what I did with them kids, what I did with those kids. Trust me, and I know, I know. Oh, you're probably thinking, but she doesn't know. I know. I've had really, really hard things happen to me, and I've also done really, really hard things to other people. Them kids, every single decision that they make, it's like, that's a reflection of what I did to them. And I know that. You come here and you get parented right, and then as all these mistakes stick out to you, trust and believe that, and you have to learn to deal with it on a daily basis. I get up every morning and just think, okay, one foot in front of the other. You're not that person anymore. People trust me, and I have to be who I'm created to be. I have to forgive, because you know what? Jesus forgave me. And if I don't have that forgiveness, kill me now. Because I can't deal with that. I can't handle that. I've also been that person. And I forget, because it's 10 years it's going 10 years down the line now. Been here for 10 years, and it's easy to forget. Some people come and they don't even know that I've ever been on drugs, or who I was. And that's good, and I love that. But at the same time, I'm like, I don't think I ever want to forget that, because I never want to go back to that. I never want to go back to her. And sometimes we'll laugh and be like, oh yeah, let her rise up. And it's like, no. Don't let her rise up. Let her be kind and love and move forward. I don't want to be stuck anymore. I was stuck for a very long time because I wanted to hold on. Because I felt like it was doing something, but it wasn't doing anything for causing me to not be who I was created to be. And I don't think that we should live fearfully about the future, but I think we should live fearfully cautious about missing the boat on this one. Because sometimes time runs out. And sometimes it's too late. And sometimes you have to go back and tell your son, whose dad died, the truth of how you pushed him away, how you were full of anger and rage, and you beat him up on the porch so that he'll know the real reality of things. And yes, he should have fought for him, but we were kids. I should have fought for him. I should have fought for him that day. And it's a hard conversation to go back and tell somebody the truth after the fact when the Holy Spirit says, you can fix this. You can fix this. And I don't want you to take away from this that if you've done things that deserve forgiveness, work your butt off. Transform your life. Take it so seriously. This is something that I do every single day. I'm this 9.5 years when his dad died. 9.5 years. And I'm just now really coming to terms with, if that Holy Spirit speaks and tells you to do something, you do it then. I could have salvaged a whole bunch of extra feelings. And would their relationship have been perfect? No. But was it a very important part? It was. Because my kid now lives with the fact, he's like, well, how do I even feel? And it's like, how do you even feel? You got to take the responsibility. The responsibility is hard, but we have a responsibility as Christians. If you say that you're a Christian, take it seriously. Stop acting like there's forever time, because sometimes there's not. Learn to love yourself, forgive yourself, fight for your life, listen to the Holy Spirit. If he's convicting you, listen to the Holy Spirit. He's not going to send you astray. He's not going to put you in a position where you're going to be hurt. This is Jesus, the Lord, Holy Spirit. And it's okay. Like, if you mess up, get back up. And if you are like needing forgiveness, work your butt off to get that forgiveness. Make it worth somebody's while. Changed behavior is the best way to say that I'm sorry. Amen. To never be that person again, best way to say that I'm sorry and I'm serious, because if not, don't even act like it. It's hard work. I don't care where you come from. There's no perfect way at this. But you're forgiven. I think the best example of that is when he's on the cross and he says, forgive them, Father, they know not what they do. But after that, they knew what they were doing. You know what you're doing now. It's your responsibility. Take it. Hike that cross up on your back. I don't care what that cross looks like. Looks like some kids. Get them up there. Looks like some grandkids. Looks like some parents, friends, girlfriends, boyfriends, exes. I don't care. Hike them people on your back and get ready. And stop taking this forgiveness thing as if it's like, oh, it's a magic fix-all. No, it's not. It's hard work. And the best way that you can say that you want to be forgiven is to change. Transformation. And then you step into who you're created to be. The world, your world, the people around you are depending on it. And I don't care what stage of life you are in. This is a very, very important message. Don't miss the boat on this.